You guys don't have to. Are you leaving now?
Oh, it's late start.
You still got 20 minutes, but you can go now if you want. Okay. See you guys later.
Is Goodluck? Have you not seen Goodluck?
Say what?
Have you not seen Goodluck?
I've sent Goodluck an invite and Denise as well.
Weird.
My camera on my laptop does not work. I was going to try and use my cell phone, but since I saw your emails about nobody starting the meeting, I thought I'll jump on and start it.
Yeah, so I probably have to leave in about 30 minutes just because my other group that meets Friday had to reschedule to today. So,
well, Edwin was just wondering if we could reschedule for us for Friday morning. Would that mess up with you?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to do that.
Okay. All right, see you guys later. Okay. Well, if we can't get Goodluck on, I read through the questions, but I didn't prepare to be group leader.
Well, I don't mind going through the questions. I just need to pull them up real quick.
Yeah, I read through them, but so I mean, we can all. All right, and then
shows up at least.
Do you want to pull? Do you know what, Hannah? Why don't you pull up the questions, and I will pull up Rachel's answers.
Okay, cool.
Stay for a while.
No, school's gonna start soon. See you guys later. Bye. Okay. All right, got my kiddos out the door. Good. Maybe. Love you too. Bye. All right, just gotta find the email that Rachel sent. Bye, guys. All right. You know, emails are great until you want to find the specific email, and then digging through all our restarts and starts on email groups. Oh, there's her answers. Okay, so let's get started so we can get this done.
Okay.
I send Goodluck one more invite and Denise one more invite.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so the first question is, what do you guys think it would be like to work as a TSA agent?
I'm not so sure I would want to do that. Edwin, what's it like in Africa there with going on an airplane from TSA? Do you guys have that over there now after 9/11?
We have measures put in place here. Here we don't have, in Ghana, we don't have terrorist attacks here. But what we have frequently here is narcotic trade. You understand? So a series of measures has been put in place, like X-ray machines that will scan luggages. And then we have sniffer dogs.
Oh, really?
That does those. Yes, we have sniffer dogs, which does those works. So we have not yet experienced a terrorist attack here, but we have measures in place, a series of security measures in place for narcotics and the rest.
Oh, I pray you guys never experience that. It's
yes. We are praying for that.
All right, Rachel says, personally, I would not enjoy it. It would be incredibly tedious and lonely for me. So Rachel wouldn't want to be one either.
Yeah, I think for one, the long hours, like I am the type of person that my body does not function if I don't get the right sleep. And I would miss that, and I would probably end up getting tired for not seeing something.
Hi, Goodluck.
Hello, please.
A lot of noise, background noise.
Yes, please. I will get back to you guys.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Hannah, what's the next question?
All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so the second question, has anyone had a job? So none of us have, right? Okay.
All right. So what would you guys do, or what do you think O'Reilly should do about Sanchez?
This one would, for me, would be hard because he's a good worker and he made one mistake, and that's hard when you have a good employee. That, just unfortunately, it was a big mistake.
Yeah, it was a big mistake, but since he is such a good employee and he is an asset, like I think it would be too harsh to just fire him.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it needs to be addressed, but like I would still want to keep him.
Yes. The same thing. I wanted him. You see, he's a very good guy. He's a very hardworking, and firing him will be a disaster. So I think he should be kept and be given should be cautioned. Should be cautioned. So he should be kept.
And he knows what he did wrong. He knows his mistake. And I mean, it talked about the feeling that he had. So he already knows what he needs to fix. So if it's addressed and they talk about how he felt about the situation and what he can do to improve it, I think that he would.
Yeah. Denise, what do you think?
I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we all sometimes make mistakes. You understand, in our workplaces. We sometimes come to work very late. We know the time should be at 8 a.m. and then sometimes we come to work at late. It happens. So I think he should be cautioned. With security matters, I think it's very, very important. So he should be cautioned, but I don't think he should be fired. I don't think he should be fired.
Yeah. Denise, what do you think?
When I was first reading it, I was like, oh, I should just fire him, But when I was like keep reading it, and I'm like, oh no, he's a good worker, so we cannot do that. But that was really a big mistake. So
Yes.
Rachel says in her comment, she says, I think he should receive a verbal warning. Sanchez knew what he was doing was wrong. Let's see, I'm just going to try and paraphrase what she said. She said maybe a lower job, put him in a different position for a while and allow him to work his way back up. So that was her comment on it.
Yes. I think he should be given a verbal and written warning.
Yep. I agree with you, Edwin. All right, Hannah, what's the next question?
So if he stays on, so he's not fired, what will other TSOs think?
I think they would see that he got demoted, that he got a punishment for what he did, and that the airport is compassionate enough to understand we make mistakes and didn't want to fire him. So I think in sense it would show that it's a good place to work for. What about you guys?
I like the decision of putting him in a new position and just keeping him there for a while, just so the other people know that they are taking responsibility for what he did. They are making a change, but like what you said about they also like are understanding of mistakes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that was a good idea.
Yes, with the workers, some of them. Hello.
Yeah, we can still hear you, Edwin.
Hello.
We can still hear you.
Yes, but now I can't see you. But let me talk. Let me talk. You know, Africa, we have a very big problem with the internet.
Yeah, go ahead and talk.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that though some of the workers or the workers might think otherwise, but that is, I think it's a good decision to make, not to fire him. It will be a sort of motivation also to the workers to work hard. You understand? To work hard. Though if he received verbal and written caution, it will send a signal to other workers, but it will also be a sort of motivation for the workers to work hard. That is what I think.
Do you think that doing a discipline without punishment, so the other article that we read, do you think that approach would be a good approach for this scenario?
Yes, I think written and I think verbal and written it's a sort of punishment. You've told the person that this is what he has done, and it is not good, and then you have backed it with a written letter. It's a sort of punishment. I feel it's a sort of punishment because it goes onto the record that this is what the person has done, and he has received a caution. You understand? Because I remember when my son was in second cycle institution, we were called to the school. We were made to know that my son jumped the wall and then went to town. You understand?
Yeah.
So, yeah, went to town. So we were called to go to the school to sign a bond that if he if he jumped the wall again, he will be sacked. So by mere signing of bond, indicating that he will never jump the school wall to town, it's a sort of punishment. You understand? And he never did it again. And then he's now completed and is in the university. You understand? So I think it's good to do that. It's a sort of punishment.
I agree with you. Rachel, this is what Rachel said. She says, if he stays on with no discipline and the other TSAs will think his behavior wasn't a big deal. That's why there needs to be some sort of discipline to help Sanchez build the skills he lacked during the breach.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because if they don't, then people aren't going to think that the security is so important. They're going to start missing steps, and then that's when more problems occur. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
Can you see me, please?
No, we can't, Edwin, but we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, so going back
I think okay, so I said I think my hand touched my phone and the screen is gone, but once you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly, so that's good.
Yeah, we can. Okay, so going back to the discipline without...
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Denise.
Okay, and sometimes it's like employee are going like to a lot, and I would think that it would be nice. Maybe you can have a little, I would say maybe a little vacation or something, clear his mind off, and after that he can come back to work.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because the next question was, is it time for Sanchez to take a paid decision-making day, which is talked about in the other article, which is a little different than vacation, but it's still like a time off to just reflect about what he really wants in that situation. So do you think that would be appropriate for the situation?
Yeah. Because you make a really big mistake, you know? So maybe it might, because sometimes it's like you are going to something you're not fully focused. So I think sometimes it's like a little bit time off, and you can like be normal, like you can like be normal, so you can clear your mind and come back to work.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so does Rachel. Rachel says she agreed on this as well. So And I agree as well.
And then with that kind of action, do you think that the rest of the employees will be like, I guess, satisfied with that action, course of action?
Yes, I think they will be satisfied. They will be satisfied because when you make a mistake, you shouldn't be fired straight away. You should be given a verbal warning as well as a written warning. So when he does it again, then he can be fired. You understand? Right. It's. I think it's in good cause. You have to speak to the person. You have to give him a warning that next time when he does it, he will be fired or either demoted. Right. So I think the workers will be satisfied.
Yeah, I agree with Edwin on that too.
Yeah, and even they don't, it's like you cannot make everybody's happy. Will be always someone who's gonna be like, no, this should be fired, whatever. So that's their opinion, so
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so since we're all kind of on the same page that we don't think that he should be fired, what would it have taken to fire him? Like what would he have done to make him get fired?
What I think is that I think this is the first mistake that he has done.
Mm-hmm.
The second and third would amount to firing. You understand? And then when I read the message, I think it wasn't so much of a security breach like terrorists attacking the plane. You understand? I think this is someone who I think has lost her luggage or can't find her luggage, and then or something of that sort. And so I don't think it's so much of a security breach like terrorist attack. If it is, then he can be fired.
Right.
That is what I think.
Yeah, because then it's going to be all over the news. The whole world's going to know about it, and they would expect him to not work there anymore. Yeah.
I was going to put in my 2 bits. We have to look at it as a point that he did because of his choice, though. They delayed multiple flights. Mm-hmm. Quite a few people were put out of their flights, missed their flights, or, it was a huge chain reaction. So that part of it is one of those, how do you weigh that responsibility versus just the man running through the wrong gate to try and get onto the plane faster?
Yeah, that's that. You've said it right. Yes.
So.
Yeah. So I guess for me to fire him, I think that he would have to use his phone again. Because like Edwin said, he wasn't trying to like pose all these threats to the airport. He wasn't trying to be a part of like terrorist attacks or anything like that. He just was on his phone. So if he did that again and he wasn't following the rules, because it was in the rules that they aren't supposed to use their phone unless it's an emergency. So if that kept happening, then that would be the time to let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
We can see you.
Can you see me?
Yep, we can see you.
Okay.
There, yeah, we can see. Oh, yeah, we can see you.
Okay.
All right, Hannah, are we on step 3?
Yes. Okay, so step 3. Do you guys think that the security breach was entirely Sanchez's fault?
Yes, it is his fault. He was on phone, isn't it?
Yes.
Which he should not be doing. The call is private call, and they cautioned not to do that. So it is his fault.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and Rachel agreed with that as well.
Yeah. So this part kind of confused me because at an airport, when you go through security, there's so many things that you have to go through, like, and there's so many different security people there, it kind of just surprised me that the guy even got through all those people, like, without somebody else noticing.
Well, if you looked at the map on, I don't know, the end of the paper, it showed the way it was set up, and he was the only one on that side of the room, if you will. So maybe if they had more people, then that wouldn't have happened. More than just one person watching that exit. So
yeah,
but I still think he was on his phone.
Well, yeah, he's the only person to blame because he was the only one on the exit part, so he shouldn't have gone through. But
even if it is one person, he should be vigilant.
Yes.
Even if it is, he should be vigilant. One must be vigilant always, especially when that terrorist happened. Is it 9/11? Isn't it?
Yes.
So yes, so he should be very, very vigilant. So even if it is alone, he should be vigilant.
Denise, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's that's his fault, but at the same time, sometimes it's like at work you can make a mistake. It's like, there's like another employees, like they already covered, it's like they already covered. I'm just wondering, is there's like no one, like even is that's not your section or whatever, but that person is not supposed to go there, and if you see that person, I'm gonna want to be like, no sir, I'm so sorry, you're not supposed to go there.
Right. Yeah. So the next question was, in what ways did the TSA contribute to the breach? So in my mind, like Denise was saying, like, why didn't someone else say, oh, like, this is wrong, like, you're supposed to go through this system first or whatever?
Somebody else grabbed him before he ran through.
Yeah. But at the same time, everybody has their own responsibilities, so it technically wasn't their job to notice him. But at the same time, in security, like, your eyes need to be open too. So
yes, your eyes needs to be open. Once it's a security issue, your eyes needs to be opened.
Yeah. So the next question was, what could they have done to prevent the situation? So I feel like that's kind of answered that question.
Yep.
Okay, so
the question again.
Oh, go ahead.
The question again. You asked the question.
Oh,
my question was, what could they have done better to prevent the situation? But we kind of covered that. But so the next question is, what could TSA do to make the TSA job more meaningful?
Rachel's comments were, pay them more, have more job requirements, make the job more prestigious. And I think here in America, I think our TSA workers kind of get the brunt of grouchy travelers and don't get respected very much. So having the company recognize them would be very helpful. Hannah, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm just trying to get my charger because my computer's about to die.
Oh, okay. Anybody else got a comment on that? Edwin or Denise?
Denise, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say maybe just recognize them. It's like maybe employee recognition, like every time they do something good, I don't know, do something, like give them something, I don't know, make it fun for them.
Yeah. Going back to the pay, do you think that raising their pay would help? I know Rachel mentioned that, but what do you guys think about raising the pay?
I think in other sense, Okay. Raising pay here in Africa is a sort of motivation to us. But according to the reading, what I have read so far from the course, raising pay cannot be a sort of motivation. But in Africa here, it's a sort of motivation. If you don't pay us, if our pay is not good, we don't work as we should be. But if the pay is good, we work to kill ourselves. So I think in Africa here, raising pay is a very good thing for us. That is what I would say.
Yeah. Well, here in the United States, I mean, this pay is very low, and I think trying to pay them a little bit more would definitely. I agree with you, Edwin. Money shouldn't be the motivation, but in reality, it really is.
Especially because the very bottom of the chain for these people was 25,000, 35, I think it was.
Yeah.
Which is kind of low especially when you're trying to provide for a family and pay all your expenses and stuff. So, and since it's such an important job, I think it would help people to be motivated in a way. But at the same time, I think they also need to address more of the importance of their job and how important they are, just to help them want to be there in general, and like just helping them with knowing their purpose.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, the next section is role playing. Have you read through that one yet, Hannah?
Yeah, I did read through a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so for this one, it only requires 2 people. So one person is gonna play O'Reilly and the other one is gonna play Sanchez, and pretty much you're just going through the scene where Sanchez is coming to work the next day after the big disaster happened, and O'Reilly is gonna confront him about something. So you're just kind of saying what you think should actually be said in the situation, and then whoever is Sanchez will just say what was on his mind. So does anybody want to be those 2 people?
Any takers? I'll be O'Reilly.
Okay,
if somebody wants to be Sanchez.
Do you want to do it, Edwin?
I'm not a very good actor, so you should do it, and then I'll and watch.
All right, Hannah, do you want to be Sanchez?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so this is me. Okay, what would you have done differently? So this is just us having the conversation once he gets to work, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh. All right, so Mr. Sanchez, we had a huge incident yesterday. What's your understanding of what happened?
Well, I would like to say that I sincerely apologize for the situation, and I know that I was wrong. I was on a call with my daughter, and at that time I felt it was important, but I realized that it wasn't an emergency situation. I shouldn't have been on my phone, and I know that I will not do that again.
Okay, you do realize that because of your actions, multiple flights were postponed and many people were put out because of the time we had to take to bring in the dogs and the bomb squad and chase down this person. You do realize that all this time was wasted, right?
Yes, I do realize that was all on me.
Okay, so I'm going to allow you to have some paid time as we consider I will say, I don't want to say punishment. What was the consequences of your choice as a company, as we, your disciplinary action that needs to be taken.
And how long is this time off?
You know what? We're going to say that we're going to take the weekend. So take Friday, tomorrow off. And we will see you back Monday morning. And we will have a decision that we will come to.
Okay. See you Monday.
There we go. I don't know. This is a hard one for me because we know he's a good worker, but you know, where do you draw the line in the sand mentality? It says, okay, this cannot be tolerated, that we cannot, you know, where's that margin of error? That's what I'm after.
Right.
So
I think you did very well, but you were relaxed.
yeah,
you know,
easy honor.
Yes, in the sense that this is a security breach issues. So you need to be very, very hard. You need to be your the way you talk must be very, but well, I think overall it's good. I will give you 80%.
Thank you. I won't fire you.
Something that which we obviously can't do online, but in O'Reilly's situation, I would pull him into the office and like actually sit down where she's behind a desk and he's sitting down in a chair, just to have that seriousness of the conversation. Because if it's too casual, then he's gonna take it too casual.
Yeah, I agree with you, Hannah.
Do you have any thoughts about that, Denise, on what should have been done differently, or what you liked about that decision?
Yeah, like I said before, I like a little bit time off, you know, because he has to, because you know you make a really big mistake. He has to take. Yeah, I like them. I like idea just like take Friday off and we'll see you on Monday. Right. So I like that.
Well, Rachel says no, they should not fire Sanchez. That was her verdict on it. So.
Okay, so in the discipline without punishment reading, it talked about the time off approach and how if you give the time off, it's not like that is the decision to okay, like I'm gonna give you this day off and you come back to me with your decision. So I think that's the only thing I would change is make it on him, so that he comes back and decides, is this the right job for you? Like, are you sure that you can handle all the responsibilities? If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, then he would come back and he would say, okay, I realized where I made my mistake. My cell phone will not be in my pocket. You know, I want this job. I need this job.
Right.
And he will be humbled enough to accept whatever comes at that point. And I think that's what you're saying, Hannah.
Yeah, because I think giving people choices is super important. Like, people want their choices. So when you give them that choice, like you can either apply to all of our responsibilities and do it right, not have your phone and whatever, or you can not have the job. Like, it's up to you, but like, how willing are you to do that? So okay, so let's see. So the last part is kind of asking you guys what the final decision should be. So we said we're not going to fire him. We're going to give him his leave. And do you guys think that the leave should be paid?
If it's TSA's policy to do that, then yes. But if it's not TSA's policy, then I would go with just that he gets the weekend unpaid and come back.
Right. If it's only a couple of days, then I don't think it's necessary to be paid, because it's not like he's losing a ton of hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
And I think so. He shouldn't be paid.
Okay. Yep. So do you think that he should receive additional training?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
in essence, everybody needs to be retrained if a breach happens.
Yeah.
And people are lax, and you can't on TSA on people's flights. You just, we've seen too many sadnesses of what's going on around the world anymore that you just can't be.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think everybody should be retrained.
Yes.
And
Yes.
in my opinion, I think they should have trainings all the time, even if things aren't happening, just to keep it fresh.
Yes. Yeah. Retraining is very, very important. We in our workplaces, we should be trained. At least, I would suggest maybe quarterly, we should be retrained. We should be, because sometimes when we are on the job, we lose our focus. You understand? We lose our focus, and retraining will bring us back on track. So I think Sanchez lost his focus, and I think retraining will bring him back on track.
Yeah.
But he was also working more hours, and so he was kind of tired anyways.
Yeah.
So maybe that this overtime hour workage may not be an option.
Right.
That, if you're going to come to work tired, then this isn't the place to be tired.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So kind of to wrap up, what does this case teach us about discipline? So what did you guys learn about discipline?
I think we all need to be alert, and being alert is also discipline. In our workplaces, even in the gospel, if you are not disciplined, you cannot obey the commandment of God.
Right.
Being obedient is discipline. So as we learn in the church, we also must carry it into our workplaces. We need to be doing what our bosses have asked us to do. And we need to be alert always. We need to be disciplined. If we don't do that, then we are not supposed to work at where we are working. You understand? Because discipline is very, very important. As a business management student, I know that discipline is one of key to success. If you want to succeed, then discipline is one of the key. You need to discipline yourself. I think discipline is very, very important. We need to discipline ourselves. We need to be alert always.
Yeah. Denise, what do you think?
Yeah, discipline is very important. That's why when we're like little child, and like our parents always trying to discipline us, so we can have a better understanding. So I think it's very important in the workplace and everywhere you go. So yeah.
And I agree too. With this verdict, I think the companies have to have in place a very specific disciplinary policy that if something as minor as this but causes such a big chain reaction, has to have some severe punishment or discipline incorporated into it.
Yeah.
So yes, I think there should always be discipline, because unfortunately we're human and we get lax. We are, we have to stay on our toes, and sometimes consequences make us do that.
I think for me, I kind of realized how important discipline is to the company in general and to like the image of the company. Just because in this situation, like everyone's kind of waiting to see what's going to happen, and judgments are going to be made if it's not the right decision. So it's like you really have to, as somebody in management, you really have to analyze how you're going to discipline someone. You can't come to quick conclusions about something because it really could be the wrong decision, especially with something as serious as this. So.
Yeah. And Rachel said in her point, she says, it's important to have a discipline plan. It made me think a lot about a positive, effective plan to disciplining children.
Yes. There must be a discipline plan. So I think she's right.
Is there anything else that you guys learned that you want to talk about before we end the meeting?
I think next week, I hope you've read the instructions next week. Yes, we are going to divide the meeting into two. I don't know if you have read it.
I haven't. Are you leading it next week, Edwin?
Is that?
Are you?
Yes, I mean next week. I read a portion of it. I read a portion of it. And I'm asking if you have read it.
No, I haven't yet. I haven't looked ahead yet.
Okay. Then we go and then we read it, and then next week when we come back, I think.
Okay.
We can.
So and everybody.
I don't know next week who is leading.
I don't know. Denise, have you led one yet?
Yeah. I think my last one will be discussion 12.
I think next week is me and Edwin together.
Because that you have to. Okay, so alrighty, and then as for the paper, I think I'm leading this one. So look through and find some problems and solutions, and I'll send out some emails here soon about where we want to lead this paper to go.
And just a heads up, like please, like just get started as soon as possible, just so we can see like who's working on it and who's not. Because if we don't see anything, like at the last minute, we kind of have to scram and get it done. And I don't want like anyone to not get credit if they're gonna do it. So just write even just little notes here and there, just so we know that you guys are working on it.
Are you guys already posting it?
Yeah, there's people. Hannah's already posted onto the paper already, so.
I don't see it, but I'm gonna look for it then.
Okay. All righty, guys. I'm gonna stop the broadcast, and I will go ahead and email to the teacher then, because I don't know where Goodluck went, and he should write the paper afterwards. So, but I'll send this in so she knows that we had our discussion group.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.